Hey all, a very good morning. So I have come up with a GATE strategy video, not a strategy video, but exactly what you can expect in the examination, right? And this video has taken a lot of effort and a lot of time because honestly, it was not very easy to find a pattern in the GATE examination. It is a very well-made exam, and unlike the CSR examination, the finding a pattern in this particular examination was a bit difficult, but still there are some very common features that you see throughout the GATE examination that I am going to discuss. Okay, and you know that most of my videos are well put out and take a lot of effort. So what I have planned is, there was a long gap in the videos, so what I have planned is that I will be making practice questions for the GATE examination from the relevant topics. So if you want me to make practice sessions on some particular questions, okay, or some particular topic, do let me know in the comment section. Right now, without further ado, let's begin with the video. Right, so I've written down a bunch of important topics. Now there are two ways that I've analyzed this. Okay, one is that I have taken the the examination that was made by IIT Bombay. So the GATE 2021 exam is also made by IIT Bombay. So 2005 and 2013 paper was made by IIT Bombay, and now it is being made in 2021. So I've one point I've analyzed the 2005 and 13 examinations, and from the other side I've examined the last 5-year examinations, that is 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20. So these are the two ways that I've analyzed that, and with that I have come out with some expected topics. So I've written down the expected topics, but before that let me just give you a brief idea about the questions that are asked from the various topics. So the easiest questions that come in the GATE examination are from inorganic chemistry, right? They are very the syllabus and the kind of questions that are asked are very similar to your CSIR net examination, and they are very straightforward and easy, I would say, compared to organic and physical. Now when you talk about organic chemistry, in the GATE examination, organic chemistry is not tricky, but it is conceptual. You will not see reagents which are very how do I put it, exclusive or elusive. Okay, you will not see elusive reagents. You will see very common reagents that you come across whenever you are practicing questions, or you have very well heard about those reagents and you know about the reactivity. So they generally ask you questions based on reaction mechanism. They want to test out how good your general organic chemistry is, like what is the basic idea you have about organic chemistry. So you will not see very complicated questions from the organic chemistry part, yet they are kind of like testing your basics of organic chemistry. Physical chemistry is the make or breaks topic according to me in the GATE examination. Tricky questions are asked, direct questions are also asked, and a wide variety of questions are asked, right? So you cannot pinpoint that most of the questions will come from this topic. Quantum definitely is one of them. Anyway, let's come down to what you can expect in the GATE examination, the GATE 2021. What are the most common topics? See, a general strategy, you know about the syllabus. The syllabus has been updated for the GATE 2021 examination. You have seen the syllabus, and you might have also seen the previous year question papers to have an idea as to what kind of questions are asked. So I'm not going to go into the general idea that in organometallic what all questions are going to come, in physical spectroscopy, or in what all major topics are going to come. I'm not going to talk about the major topics. I'm going to talk about what you can expect. So just have a bear with me for the time being. So group theory is something that I have seen that in the last couple of examinations, group theory has not been asked. So there you can expect a good question from group theory. Particularly, they can give you a molecule and they can ask you the point group for that element, right? Then term symbols is something that I have seen that in the last 3-4 examinations, term symbols has not been asked, while in the GATE 2013 and 2005 examination there were questions from term symbols, right? Then in bio and organic chemistry, a lot of students get confused. See, if you are preparing to get a top 100 rank, right, then you have to prepare everything. This video would be more helpful to the students who are basically aiming to qualify the GATE, or trying to get a rank between, let's say, 100 to 500. If you want top 100 rank, you have to prepare almost everything, right? You cannot leave out anything. So anyways, in bio and organic chemistry, you will see that the questions are centered around heme proteins. In the last 5 exams also, and the IIT Bombay examinations, the ones that are conducted by IIT Bombay, in all those examinations you will see that the questions are coming from heme protein, right? The structure of heme protein, or the oxidation state of the metal, or what metal is present, right? Whereas over the last few years, there have also been some questions where they have been just asking the functions of a particular bioinorganic compound, a particular enzyme. Like they will give you this enzyme and they'll ask you what is the function of this enzyme. Like recently a question came from catalase. that what is the function of catalyst. So these kind of questions can come, or the questions can come what metal is present in this particular enzyme. So you can see that these kind of questions are superficial questions, like you just need to know the function of the enzyme and you need to know the metal present in that enzyme. But when it comes to heme proteins, you can expect more detailed questions. So do like if you have the time, do heme proteins in much more detail, right? That is a common feature that you observe throughout the exam. Now, one very important topic that you would be, I think, seeing in the upcoming examination is organometallic catalysis. Okay, this is a very important topic. Like for example, your Wacker process. It is an important topic because GATE is more like an application based examination, and you will see questions which are more on the application side. So organometallic catalysis or inorganic catalysis is a very applicable, like it's a field based on application, right? A lot of application is going on of organometallic catalysis. Okay, almost synthesis of all your basic structure or basic molecules like methanol, formaldehyde, this all happens due to the organometallic catalysis, right? So Monsanto acetic acid process, Wacker process, and all these reactions that are given in the organometallic catalysis portion, which you can find in any book. You can either refer to Crabtree or you can refer to B.D. Gupta, right? These are two very good books. So one is your B.D. Gupta, right? And one is your Crabtree. So just refer to these two books for organometallic catalysis. B.D. Gupta is actually good enough. If you go to B.D. Gupta, that is good enough, right? Then the next thing that we have is, if I talk about physical chemistry for a bit. In physical chemistry, do atomic structure really well. Like for example, Lyman-Balmer series, we tend to ignore these topics. Then you have what do you call this hydrogen atom, Bohr's model, right? And calculating the energy and the radius of the Bohr's model. So these questions I have seen are coming in the GATE examination from the atomic theory part. Quantum chemistry obviously is going to be it's going to play a very important part. It has a lot of questions coming in from quantum chemistry, but apart from that, questions do come from atomic structure also. Then I have seen some very straightforward questions coming from partition function. So just go through the different formulas for the partition function. Okay. Right, then we have if you want to do some miscellaneous topics, then from surface chemistry, and I would recommend you doing surface tension, the basic formula of surface tension. If you have the ability to understand phase diagrams, then questions do come from phase diagram, and these three your Langmuir adsorption isotherm, your Bet isotherm, and your the Freundlich isotherm. Okay, so these three isotherms, so phase diagrams, surface tension formula, and then one more thing that you need to focus on is this what do you call I forgot the name in phase. Yeah, chemiosorption and physiosorption. So this time there will be multiple select questions as well, right? So you can expect in the multiple select questions, you can expect a question from chemiosorption and physiosorption, right? And then I have seen that in the last couple of examinations, clusters is not given a very important weightage. So you can expect a question from clusters, like they can ask you the like whether it's a closoborane, nidoborane, arachnoborane, or what kind of a cluster it is. You can also expect a MSQ based question from clusters also, that they will give you a cluster and they'll ask you how many valence electrons are there, what is the structure of that cluster, and which category does it belong to, what is the geometry, whether it's square, antiprismatic, or something like that. So they can make a multiple select question also from your cluster chemistry. Okay. Now in physical chemistry, you will see that some questions, like I said, it is a very well balanced exam, that you see questions from kinetics, and the kind of questions are not repeated. Then you see questions from thermodynamics, you see questions from equilibria, chemical equilibria, you see questions from conductance, you see questions from fugacity. Okay, so it's a very well you can say comprised exam, but they have some tendency to ask particular questions from very specific topics. So I'll just mention those topics because generally we tend to miss them out. One is vapor pressure. Okay, questions from vapor pressure, entropy of mixing, and then the pre-exponential factor and entropy of activation. Okay, the pre-exponential factor will be given to you and they will ask you the entropy of activation for a biomolecular reaction. So these are some very common questions that you will see in the exam. Then conductance is also one of their favorites. They definitely ask you questions from a lot of questions from conductance. So even though in the CSR examination you will not see questions from conductance, but in the GATE examination you will see a lot of weightage given to conductance, right? Then I have seen that in thermodynamics they try to vary the topics. Okay, they don't ask questions from the same topic, and I observed that a question has not come from Carnot cycle for a very long time, so you can expect questions from Carnot cycle, and obviously Beer-Lambert's law. Now the three most important topics, if I talk about organic chemistry, that you cannot afford to miss out, is every time I've seen a question comes from pericyclic, not one but multiple questions, photochemistry, and then we have stereochemistry. Stereochemistry is one of the most important topics that is going to come in this GATE examination apart from quantum, because in stereochemistry you can make n number of MSQ based questions. Like they can ask you that among the following molecules which all are distereomers, and they can give you 4 molecules, then you'll have to find out for each set of molecules which are acting as distereomers. So multiple MSQ based questions can come, and specifically I've seen the examinations that were conducted by IIT Bombay. In those examinations, stereochemistry was given a hell lot of weightage. At least 6 to 7 questions were coming from stereochemistry directly. Forget about the indirect questions. 6 to 7 questions have been coming from stereochemistry directly. So stereochemistry is going to play a big role over here in terms of organic chemistry, so do not miss it out. And similarly, spectroscopy, both organic and physical spectroscopy. And in organic spectroscopy, you will see questions from proton NMR, you will see questions from mass, you will see questions from 13C, and most importantly, you will see questions from IR. From physical spectroscopy, you will see questions again based on NMR spectroscopy, the physical chemistry aspect of NMR spectroscopy, and apart from that, you will see questions from Raman, rotational, and vibration. These are very typical that are asked in the GATE exam. Then in kinetics, I have not seen, even though last year in 2020 there was a question from Michaelis-Menten in kinetics, but before that in the last 4 examinations there was no question from Michaelis-Menten kinetics. So you can expect Michaelis-Menten, Ehring, or Lineweaver-Burk plot. One of these questions you can expect in the examination. You can also expect, just have a look at how to find out the solubility product and how to find out the osmotic pressure. Apart from vapor pressure, just learn how to find out the osmotic pressure. Okay, so these were some of the topics. Then IIT Bombay asks a lot of questions based on instrumentation. Okay, I have seen that even though in the last 4-5 examinations there have not been any questions from instrumentation, but recently if you see the GATE syllabus also, they have introduced some new topics in the instrumentation section, and I have seen that a lot of questions do come from instrumentation. So it could be either questions like, for example, they can ask you like in the IR, when you're taking out, when you're doing infrared radiation, what is the source of infrared radiation? Or recently a topic of atomic absorption spectroscopy was added. So then what is the source for that particular technique, right? So those kind of questions can be expected, basically more on the analytical aspect. So I expect a couple of questions coming from analytical chemistry as well. So you can see the kind of topics that I'm telling you, these are not the common major topics. These are the ones which somehow we tend to ignore, right? Now, again, a few more important points. So organic spectroscopy, stereochemistry I've talked about, physical spectroscopy I've talked about. Yeah, in common reagents and reactions that are asked, so I told you photochemistry, pericyclic is very important apart from your, photochemistry, pericyclic and stereochemistry. Along with that, if you talk about reagents, the one common question that is there in each and every exam in the GATE examination is from Birch reduction. So Birch reduction, you should know in and out, as many examples as you can practice. Do Birch reduction thoroughly. That is a very important common reaction that you will see throughout in the GATE exam. Then everything in the examination is related to your entropy, Gibbs free energy, or enthalpy. So if you are practicing now, if you are practicing some questions, do as many questions as you can, from calculating the entropy, calculating the Gibbs free energy, calculating the enthalpy, be it whatever topic. Like for example, in the electrochemistry also, they do not ask you questions that calculate the E naught. Okay, calculate the E cell of the reaction or E naught cell. They will ask you questions like find out the entropy of this electrochemical reaction, or find out the Gibbs free energy of this electrochemical reaction. So basically how E naught is related to the thermodynamic parameters, that is what they generally ask. Then quantum, partition function I've already told. I have seen that amino acids is also one topic which they frequently ask. Either they'll ask questions on isoelectronic point, or they will ask you questions on two important aspects. That is, you should know the structure of all 21 essential amino acids, And apart from that, you should be familiar with the structure of DNA bases. And coming back to amino acids, you should do these two methods. What is Edmond degradation and one is Sanger's method. Okay, Edmond degradation and Sanger's method. Let me just write it down for you over here. So Edmond degradation, okay, and Sanger's method. Do these two aspects really well. Sanger's method. Okay, by the way, just a trivia based example, Frederick Sanger is the only chemist, I would say, to win 2 Nobel Prizes in chemistry. The only person in the world to win 2 Nobel Prizes in chemistry is Sanger. Okay, he came up with this method for which he was given 1 Nobel Prize, and the second Nobel Prize was given for finding the structure of insulin. Okay. In organic chemistry, I have already mentioned Birch reduction, stereochemistry, pericyclic and photochemistry. Apart from that, Felkin model, Kram's model, and Zimmermann-Traxler model, basically enolate chemistry. If you want, you can do the chapter on enolates. There are 3 chapters given in Claydon. Do them thoroughly. One example is going to come from enolate chemistry. Okay, and anyway, so I told you that they ask a lot of questions from entropy, enthalpy and Gibbs free energy. The reason behind that is very simple, because they want to they test your unit conversions also. So that's why they ask you questions based on enthalpy, entropy and Gibbs free energy, because they can tell you to find out the answer in particular units. Okay, and then we have spinels and silicates, very important. Kinetic theory of gases. In that, just find out what is the temperature dependence of your RMSD speed, your mean speed, those kind of examples from kinetic theory of gases. Then if you want to particularly prepare main group chemistry, if you are itching to prepare main group chemistry, then I would recommend you to do inorganic acids. Otherwise, I don't recommend doing main group chemistry, but if you want to do that, inorganic acid and inorganic acids, the structure of inorganic acids and their oxidation states, along with the borazine, okay, the basic reactivity of borazines. And then in organic chemistry, they also ask you questions. Whatever general organic chemistry they are asking you, most of the questions are based on kinetic and thermodynamic control. Okay, in what conditions your kinetic product is going to be formed, and in what conditions the thermodynamic product is going to be formed, or your hard and soft acid base theory, because there the regioselectivity comes into the picture. Like for example, again the enolate chemistry is very relevant over here, that whether O alkylation is going to take place or C alkylation is going to take place. Okay, now if you talk about MSQ based questions, so I have summed up some MSQ based questions that you can expect. You can expect question from Beer-Lambert's law, that what all factors lead to change in the transmittance, for example, and they give 4 options, MSQ based question. Then they can ask you questions from lanthanides, MSQ based questions. They can ask you questions from optical activity and stereochemistry, which I have already mentioned. Then you can expect questions from solid state also, that they might give you a particular crystal lattice or a particular compound, and they might ask you that what is the relationship between the radius and the side length, which kind of a lattice it is, BCC, FCC, like that. They can make 4 options. Then clusters I've already told you, and then chemios option and physios option, that could also be a MSQ based question. Like these are some of the examples. So yeah, that was about it. The basic idea I have given you, and I just want to show it to you why I was saying organic chemistry is very straightforward, in the sense that the questions that you will see from organic chemistry, like Birch reduction, is common. Then if you look at the reagents that have been asked, MnO2 is being asked, acetal protection, that is very common. Then if I talk about the name reactions, like Stork-Enamine reaction has been repeated a lot number of times. Then we have Birch reduction, Corey-Chaykovsky, Wittig reaction, Sharpless epoxidation, Heck reaction, Beckmann rearrangement. Then we have, if I talk about more name reactions, then Stille coupling, metachloroperbenzox, your peroxy acids basically. Again Corey-Chaykovsky has been asked. Then Tebe olefination, selenium oxide elimination, reactions of pyridine and oxide. Okay, so what I am trying to emphasize is that you have heard them really well. Like all of them are quite common and famous name reactions, right, which we commonly study. Birch reduction, di-non-phenol rearrangement. Basically all these questions are from, all these name reactions are being asked from Claydon only. Okay, and yeah, so coming to the last important feature that you need to know about the exam, silicates and spinels. Please again revise that. It is very important for the GATE examination. Coming to the newly introduced topics, in the newly introduced topics, I have made video on kinetic isotopic effect, for which I'll give you the link somewhere over here. Do that. Saddle points do really well. They've added a question on line broadening. They have added in the syllabus line broadening in spectroscopy, which is very, very important. So you can expect questions from line broadening. Okay, that most probably I will see the questions like they will give you four electromagnetic radiations, like infrared, rotational, like microwave, infrared, UV, and UV visible, and radio frequency, and they'll ask you in which of these four electromagnetic radiations the line broadening will be the most. Okay, those kind of questions can be asked. Then nephloxetic effect has been introduced, so in coordination you can expect those kind of questions. From instrumentation, like I was saying, you can expect questions from Mosbar spectroscopy. From stereochemistry, A-trop isomerism has been recently introduced, so A-trop isomerism you can do. And Hammett and atom economy, that is green chemistry. How to find out the atom economy, I've again made the video. I'll give you the links to the video over here. You can go ahead and watch that. Thankfully, finally they have acknowledged. Since 2017, I have been stating that green chemistry and atom economy is a very important topic apart from Hammett equation. I've made these videos 3 years back, and this time CSIR finally introduced it in its exam. In the Tamil Nadu section, they introduced a question on atom economy, and I expect the GATE examination to also include a question from the atom economy aspect as well. So yeah, these were some of the questions from coordination chemistry. Like I said, the regular topics: Jahn-Teller distortion, d orbital splitting, crystal field stabilization energy, pairing energy, Vesper theory, then lanthanides and actinides, same thing. You should know about the magnetic, generally the questions are asked on the magnetic moment of lanthanides or the color of lanthanides. So these are like typical questions that you also see in the CSI examination. So that's why I have not detailed them. I have detailed the important ones which you tend to miss out, or the ones which are very commonly asked in every GATE examination, right? So I've included those topics, and I have made a lot of strategy videos where I have included the major topics. So if you want to see the major topics that are relevant to the exam, I'll give you the link to one of the strategy videos. The relevant topics do not change. They remain the same, right? Only the expected questions can change depending upon the previous pattern of the examinations, right? So anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. Again, do not forget to let me know in the comments section which topic you want me to make practice questions on. There would be previous year questions, and along with that there will be new questions as well for your practice, right? So yeah, that's it. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please do not forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel right now, I would request you to please subscribe. It really motivates me to come out with more excellent videos, more informative videos for all of you, right? So anyway, thank you so much for your time, and I will see you in the next video really soon.
Hey guys, so I'm a verified educator on Unacademy, and along with that I'm also available on the Unacademy Plus platform, where I'm taking live classes along with other educators. So in case you're interested in attending the live classes, you can subscribe to the Unacademy Plus platform using my referral code, that is SETHI, and that will give you 10% discount. Alright, and in case you're not interested in attending the live classes, you can watch the free courses that are available on the Unacademy. For that, all you need to do is go to the Unacademy website or download the Unacademy Learning app and search my name over there, that is SETHI. Once you do that, you will get the access to all the free courses that are available on the Unacademy platform. Alright.